Hey, welcome in. My name is Rick McClatchy, and this is the small group course from interest to excellence. The goal behind our journey together is to take you from a place, no matter where you are on the journey, on the spectrum of thinking about, having thought about, never thought about, becoming a small group leader. Maybe you're not even sure why small groups are vital enough, but we're going to walk through this journey together, and I'm confident by the time you get done, one, you're going to be convinced of the value of small groups, and two, you're going to feel equipped, you're going to feel strengthened, you're going to feel ready. I think you're going to feel like, come on, let's go do this, because it's such a deep passion in my heart. One, my life has been deeply impacted by this, and so I want everybody to be on board with this, because uh, relationships are where life happens. It's the stuff of life, and in regards to eternity, it's the thing that we take with us from this life. You can gather up monetary gain, but the relationships that we develop along the way are the things that we take with us. And so let's talk about just the overview of this course all around, so you kind of know what's coming. Prepare your heart, and then we're going to jump into this journey together, and it's going to be pretty fantastic. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the why. We're going to talk about, what are small groups, what is the purpose of small groups, and why in the world would we go about doing that. So we're going to talk about that. Number two, we're going to talk about the components of being a great leader. And number three, then we're going to jump into this topic of it being all about Jesus. And the reason that we have a session about being all about Jesus is because he's the way, he's the truth, he's the life. And so we want to help people find their way. If we want to help people know the truth, and if we want to help people live life to the full, life that's meaningful, life that's worthwhile, then we want to make sure that we involve Jesus in this process. Then we're going to spend some time talking about you, the leader. And we're going to talk about you, the leader, about content, like what's inside of you. And we're going to talk about character. We're going to talk about where you're at in your journey, and how where you're at in your journey actually helps indicate maybe what kind of group you should be leading, and also to maybe dispel some myths or some misperceptions, misconceptions about whether you're qualified or not. I'd love to have that conversation with you as we dive in. And that whole process of you, the leader, the inside part of you, is such a big topic that we're actually going to break that into two whole different sessions. And we're going to follow it up with you, the leader, your function, what you actually do as a group leader, because I believe that we need to talk about the inside stuff first, the who you are, the being part of you, before we talk about the doing part of you. And so we're going to do that in this session. Then we're going to follow that up with talking about the group, just the foundations of the group. Now that we've prepared you, and you know who you are, and you know what you should do, let's talk about the group specifically, and what direction are we headed with this group, the who's, the why, the what, the where, the how, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna talk about those questions. We're gonna answer some of those questions. Number 8, we're going to talk about the values of the group, or the characteristics that you want your group to exude, to be an example of. And so we're going to talk about those different kinds of values that your group will be based on, so that you can build your group from a really strong foundation and a really clear identity. We're going to talk about the people. What do you do? Once you get them there, what do you do with them? How do you help them grow? What kind of a culture do you want to build with these people? The next session, we're going to talk about the meeting. How do you structure a good meeting? What are some pitfalls to avoid? How do I do this? Like I said, I want to take you from interest to excellence, and a big part of that is just removing some of the mystery, answering some of the questions, and also just helping you feel more prepared, more equipped, and more ready to do the job of the small group leader. And then, because small groups are much more than just the group meeting, we're going to spend time talking about the in-between meetings aspect of leading a small group, because I think really what separates good groups from great groups is how they capitalize on the in between space, in between meetings, in between stages of life, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that because it's so vital. Then we're going to talk about you being one that develops leaders. And I wanted to talk about it last, kind of towards the end, anyways, because to me, I don't necessarily want people to come at being a small group leader so that they can develop leaders. We want to do small groups because we want to build life-giving relationships. And then out of that, I believe true, clear, like effective leaders are born out of that because they grow in a healthy environment, one where we're focused on growth and we're focused on community and supporting each other with truth, encouragement, and accountability, but we're not overly like focused on I want to be a leader. We're going to just focus on our relationship with God and our relationship with one another, and that's going to grow in us such quality of who we are that we're going to naturally be able to influence and lead other people. So we will develop leaders as a result of building our groups on a solid foundation. And then we'll have some bonus material, just talking about multiplying groups and how do you go from one group to 10 groups over time, and how and why would you want to do that, and how can you do that, and what are some strategies that you can utilize, some intentionality in your group to actually help increase the chances that you're going to actually develop more small group leaders in your group, so that the effectiveness of these groups, because you're going to experience the life and the value of small groups to a degree that you're going to want it to grow. You're going to want it to be a bigger thing than it already is. And so you're going to want to see people grow and it's kind of like having kids, right? You don't want your kids to just live in your house the rest of your life. You want them to grow and mature into adults and then take on their place in the world and go do their thing and build their home, their family that all gets to be an extension of who you are. And so we're going to do that in our small groups as well, as we're going to strengthen and equip people. And then actually we're going to see people released into ministry. And so that's why I think this whole journey is going to be so fantastic, because we get to obey Jesus, we get to walk and live life on mission, and we get to see people's lives transformed, the least of which is yours, right? I mean, like, your life gets to grow, gets to improve, gets to be strengthened. And I'm excited as you take this journey with me. So I'll catch you in lesson 1. Have a great day.